I've always taken the tack that the president picks the people he has full confidence in. The president still seems to have full confidence in Eric Holder, something I don't share.
Well, that was Congressman Darrell Issa on Fox News Sunday. He had a lot to say, frankly, about what's happening with the Attorney General. The House Oversight Committee chair says he will issue new subpoenas in the government's Fast and Furious operation as soon as this week. Republicans questioning Holder's testimony on when he learned about the operation that ultimately put U.S. guns in the hands of Mexican drug cartels. Congressman Raul Labrador is the member of the House Oversight Committee. He is one of the lawmakers calling for the Attorney General's resignation. He's live in his home state of Idaho. And, sir, good morning to you, and thank you for coming back here to America.
Good morning, Bill.
There were a lot of developments over the weekend. Have you changed your mind about the opinion you have about the Attorney General that he should resign?
I have not. In fact, I have strengthened my opinion because of the letter that he sent to Congress last week, where he accepts absolutely no responsibility for his actions. He tries to blame other people, and he says that he just made a mistake because he didn't look at some memos.
Well, it was a long letter, and nothing in it changed your mind?
Nothing in it. I mean, I agree with him that it's difficult for a person in his position to know everything that comes across his desk. I don't have a problem with that, but I think it was his responsibility as the Attorney General of the United States to actually look at what evidence his office had about Fast and Furious. Instead, he chose willfully to ignore everything that had come across his desk about it. And the question now is whether he did that because he wanted some lack of responsibility, because he wanted to actually deceive Congress, or is he just grossly incompetent in his job?
Respond to a few things. In the statement, he says, "My statement was truthful and accurate. I have been consistent throughout." Why don't you believe him?
Well, he may have been truthful and accurate. First of all, I don't know how truthful it was. He was asked 2 different times by members of Congress whether he had any knowledge about Fast and Furious. And he told both members of Congress that he only knew about Fast and Furious a few weeks before his testimony. And now we're finding out that he learned about it almost a year before his testimony. We're learning that there's a lot of other things that are happening, and somebody at his level should have actually taken the time to find out how much his office knew about Fast and Furious.
Is it a fact, though, that he did know about it prior to early 2011? Here is his statement. Prior to early 2011, I certainly never knew about the tactics employed in the operation. That could still be factual if he did not read the briefings, because the summaries, he says, are given to him every day. Those summaries are now public. Sometimes they're a sentence long, he describes. Sometimes they're in paragraph form. He says not one said anything about the tactics used by the ATF. Why is that not good enough?
Because he came to Congress to testify about what he knew about Fast and Furious. He knew that a Border Patrol agent had died because of this program. And I think it was his responsibility as the Attorney General of the United States to actually find out exactly what his office knew. And he failed to do his job. And he's done this before in the past. When he comes to Congress, he claims that he doesn't know about something that he actually has knowledge of.
Do you think there's an explanation that you would buy?
You know, there's an explanation that he didn't know about it, but there's not an explanation for him failing to do his job to come to Congress and actually give them the information that they needed.
What do you think of the new subpoenas that Darrell Issa expects to issue this week in Washington?
I think that's really important. We need to get to the bottom of this case. We need to find out exactly who knew about this operation, what they knew, and when they knew it. Because you know, and this is the important thing. This is not like Solyndra. You know, we've been hearing a lot about Solyndra where we wasted a lot of money on a company. That's a different kind of scandal. This is something where people actually died. Crimes were committed because the U.S. government actually failed to do its job to figure out where these guns were.
Raul Labrador, thank you for your time. In Nampa, Idaho. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
18 minutes past the hour. We'll see where this goes. It got hot over the weekend. Watch for more this week. Heather?
We will. And Bill,